Hello, guys. Today I have an exciting news for you. We have just started our Power BI classes, and today we are customizing one of our amazing students. We have students from Cameroon, Ghana, and other areas. If you're interested, please go down below, click that link, and join our WhatsApp group. Please remember it's a paid training and is approximately $50. That is, I think, 25,000 francs CFA. I don't know how it is in Naira or Ghana cities and other areas. So if you're interested, it's an online classes packed with a whole lot of different kinds of data that we are analyzing or visualizing using Power BI. Of course, there are other trainings that will be coming up, but for September, we have already started, and you might have a glimpse of it after this video to see how we started our classes today. Stay blessed and please follow up to see what we are doing. And if you're interested, please don't hesitate. Join us for this exciting and amazing, mind blowing, fruitful, and glorious skills development. Stay blessed, guys. Ciao, ciao.
Visualization. Most oftenly with the meal, with the M&A, I ended up with just getting collecting data and maybe at times just analyzing it like verbally, but not coming out with visualization. So this is actually the point.
Is very, very important because if you look at the landscape of the UN industries or NGOs or development organizations, especially in Cameroon, you see that it's not up to 1% of those who know how to use this skill. And based on analysis and the needs that are on the ground, every organization they are supposed to have this kind of skill or this kind of expertise and then start using them. Because if you look at all the dashboards that are created across the UN platform, they use the Power BI because it's a very amazing tool.
Yeah.
So we are going to be going through. So now, Power BI, first of all, is a very simple tool. And there is something in Power BI called Power Query. So the Power Query is the same Power Query in Excel. So during these lessons, I'm going to take us a little bit inside Excel and show us the similarities. It's just the same tool. And Power BI Desktop and Power BI Service, these are Microsoft products. They were designed by Microsoft. So what Microsoft did was just taking the Power Query inside Excel and then embedding it inside your Power BI. The reason being that they thought that it would be good to clean your data even within Power BI before you start visualizing. It makes your work easy. So you can clean in Excel using the Power Query or the normal Excel interface, or you can upload the data inside Power BI and then start cleaning it inside Power BI and then you launch it and visualize it. So let's just go straight ahead so I show you how it looks. So when you launch your Power BI, this is what you see. Normally, this is what you see. And one of the main goals of Power BI, like I said, is for visualization. So you can get data from one lake catalog. This is another this is another lesson on its own. You can get data from SQL servers. This is another lesson on its own. SQL is structured query language that we can also use to query data. Okay, so if you don't want to query data inside the Excel and the SQL server, you can withdraw that data, or sorry, after you have cleaned your data inside SQL server using the normal language that they use inside the SQL server, you can also enter there and extract that data and bring it inside here, inside Power BI for visualization. Then this one is sample data. Okay, we learn with sample data. We are going to be using this data. This data here is purely business data, where you have cost of product, price, sales price, etc. We are also going to be touching that kind of data after we have dealt with the humanitarian data or development data, which I already have a sample. In the next class, we are going to be dealing with that. Then here now, it says get data from other source. So if I click here, you see that it brings me to the Power BI interface and then automatically launches these other sources. You see, these are other sources. You see that Power BI works with a lot of different platforms. So they design it and make it user friendly. So wherever you're working, whichever tool you are using, you can extract data from there and bring inside Power BI. You see it now. So you have databases, you have Microsoft Fabric, you have Power Platforms, you have Azure, you have online services, you have others. So if I click this others here, for instance, and I run it, I would like to just write Google Sheet. I'm bringing Google Sheet because we are going to be connecting our data from Google Sheet to here. But we are going to get there, I think, towards the third week or so in this lesson. So I'll show you how to put data in Google Sheet and then connect it into your Power BI, because that is what I usually do in my work environment, because each time I change the data in Google Sheet, it automates inside my Power BI. I just refresh it and it automates. For instance, let's say you are collecting data, like you said, UNHCR program, and then data is coming in every week. So, or every month. So in January, they send you data for 10 boys, and you fill it inside your Google Sheet, and that Google Sheet is connected to your Power BI. Okay, the next month, February, when you take that, after you have done a visualization in Power BI, the next month, which is February, if they send another 10 girls, that is 20, 10 plus 10, automatically, as you put it in your Google Sheet and then you refresh it from there, come and refresh your Power BI, the data just automates and then gives you 20. We do that to also save time and to make the work more light for us, because when you start managing data, there's a lot that will be on the table. So if you don't do your data in that way, it's going to be challenging. We are also going to look at how to append and also how to manage data. We are coming there. So these are other sources, right? I just came here to show you about what we are going to be using. These are other amazing platforms. But once you understand how to manage data from Excel, which we are going to be looking at, and or from text or SCP file or Google Sheet, then you are good to go. Then any other platform can become easy for you. So this is our Power BI service. I mean, Power BI desktop database. So the first thing I want you to look at, I want you to look something here. Beside here you have the report view. Beside here you have the table view. Here you have the model view. Now these two areas here were just added, DAX, data analytical expression. This data analytical expression or DAX it just means writing formulas. But Power BI has made it so easy because you don't necessarily need to write some really difficult formulas. Once you know how to drag and drop, it makes your work easy, which you are going to be seeing as we move ahead. Now, when we come to our report view and I click, we are now on the report view here, where you can where we can start doing our report, visualizing the report view. Secondly, we are on the table view. Here you see the table that we are going to bring in. Let's say we have two tables that we have maybe create some relationship which we are going to do, and then we bring in here. You will see those tables will appear here. And then on our model view, here is relationship. I will show you how to create a relationship from one table to another. Let's say table A has names and age of child. Table B has the location and the community of the child. So we want to join these two tables. Now there's what we call primary key. You will find a column in table A and another column in table A that looks similar, that has similar data and similar relationship. These are the two columns that you are going to join, such that when you choose number of children in table A and then you relate it with the community in table B, it gives you a scene and also gives you that direct relationship. Whereas you are picking a child from community, from a certain community in table B, and then you go to table A and then relate to that child that you has a relationship with that community. Don't bother explanation, sometimes might be difficult, but when we start doing it, start to see. So this is the relationship, and then here now is a DAX. So here we are going to be writing just basic formulas. So once I put for instance, if I come here, this is a sample DAX that I've been written. If I come and click run, you see, if I click run here, it says resolve the error to see result. Now it says a DAX query requires evaluate statement. So once I we load our data here, you will see Power BI is going to generate a query here for that data automatically. And when you come and run, you will see that it will appear here. Now, what is a DAX as we saw? As we start going into the course detailing, each time we make a move, I will show you the DAX of that move. I'll show you how robust the system writes that code. But they have just
Okay.
done it because you can just drag and drop. So don't bother to keep codes in your head. Don't be scared. Don't need to keep any code in your head. Yes. Then in the next period is this other platform. And these are just new platforms, new items that have been added into the Power BI to make our work instead easier. But we are not going to be coming right here. I would like us to focus on report view, table view, and our model view. This is very important. Now, when we go back to report view, you will see here that we have another area. You have the filters. This area is so beautiful, so amazing. You will like it when we start walking around here. So here you have the filters around here. Here you have the visualizations. So here you have the area chart, you have the clustered bar chart, you have the clustered column chart, you have the stacked bar chart, you have the stacked column chart, here you have the line chart, here you have the area chart. So these are the different charts. As you hover your mouse around them, it will give you the name of the chart. Something called slicer, very beautiful. So we are looking at slicers. They are very beautiful and really useful. So we also show slicers which are also found in Excel. And then you have your data view around the data view. Here, each time you put your data, this is what the data will appear. You see, you haven't loaded any data yet. So get data. So we are going to get here. Here now is Copilot. Copilot is the AI version of all Microsoft projects or softwares. So Copilot, like I told you, in order to access desktop Power BI service, sorry, you need to have a professional email. When you use that email here, you can also access Microsoft Copilot or advise that if you finish this course, if you really want to enjoy your learning, you buy your Microsoft 365. It's 50,000 for a year and it's very useful, especially given the nature of the work. Then you can have access to all the tools of Microsoft Copilot. With Microsoft Copilot, you can enter into this Power BI while you uploaded your data and you ask it to design you a visual. Microsoft Copilot is going to automatically design you a beautiful visual and they give you different options.
Perfect.
So that's AI version of it, and it's very effective. And then again now, if you look at up here, it's just amazing. When you come to file, when I click file here, it brings me, here you have export. Export here means after you have finished your report, you can export it now in the form of PDF as well. Since you don't have access to the Power BI service, you can export it in the form of PDF and send. Import here is still bringing in data. It says import data from an existing file. Then get data also is connect to other sources which we have seen, and then share. You can also share the Power BI report, and then you have save as. We can also save this on the desktop that you see here. I've saved a certain file. Now, one thing I really brought here is to show you there's an option here called options and settings. If you click, it brings you to option and you click. You open up a vast area where you see different options. We are also going to be looking at that as we move. You see here, this backside like this, I call it backside, is very, very important. So here you have the Power Query editor, you have the direct query, you have the R scripting. Okay, so you can also bring data from R. There's also a programming language called R, which I also use a lot to analyze data. You have Python as well, that's another one. You have security. So what happens behind here is that if you want to see a certain behavior on your desktop, there are things you have to come and adjust here. For instance, if I come here and I click, let me see, load data. Now, under my load data, the first thing I put on is detect column types and headers for unstructured resources. It means I want to ensure that while I'm loading my data, it should detect headers for unstructured resources. I also want to see that when I'm import relationships from data source on first load, fine. I also want to import my relationships. I don't want to import then later on create a relationship. I want to be importing and then the relationship are already signaling to me. The next one is auto detect new relationship after data is loaded. I want this to happen on my desktop when I'm bringing my data in. Then the one says allow data previews to download in the background. I want this to happen as well. Maximum number of current jobs. Okay, this one is okay. So these are just different options that you can open at the back of your office or Power BI to set a setting criteria or make your Power BI behave in a certain way that will affect your project in a fruitful manner. Result that you desire. Very important. So we'll be looking at this again. We'll be coming here again. I just wanted to also put it behind here because I use it a lot. And then up here now, when you come to home, here you still have get data. So you have all the sources here to get data. All of them are there. You can see get data. These are your data. Here you have Excel. We like to be getting our data through Excel. And then here you still have all those sources. And then here now, when you see enter data, if I click here, you see that it will open up a certain page. This is
Yes.
so under on top of here, I can double click and I put boys. Yeah, and then I double click and I put girls. So this is how you can enter data in Power BI directly. Under here, this column, I can double click and I put 12 girls, boys. I come here and I double click and I put 13 girls. I can come again here and I add this other column again. The rows. Okay? Or I can decide to add this and I decide to put this as organization. Because normally this is the kind of data we usually have. So the organization name, you put the number of boys. Can you please, are you there? So you see that right directly from my Power BI, I can put data inside. So I've put organization can be A, organization can be B. So organization A has 13 boys and maybe 14 girls. Organization B has 1 boy, maybe 2 girls. So this is how you can create your own columns and rows around here and put data in. And after you put this data in, you can load. We'll be looking at this in another video. I'm just taking you through the different areas of Power BI. After we move from this entire data here, there's database. This is another something, some other time we're looking at it, okay? And then we're also going through transform data. This takes us now to the Power Query, which I told you about. And then here now is the new visual. This one also, you need to have the paid version of Power BI in order to use this one effectively. And then here you have text box. So you can also use your text box as well. Very, very important. You can also use your text box.
Okay.
So as you move ahead, you can also use your text box, and then here you can also use more visuals. It's still the same from app source and from my file. We'll be looking at this as we move ahead. So around here now to insert, you have insert image. We are going to be looking at this a lot because when you analyze data, you need to put in image. We are also be looking at shapes. Remember that I'll be taking you guys through some UN shapes. Shapes that shows you about a child who is hungry, shows you about a child who is disabled, shows you about all those shapes. I'll bring them in when we start analyzing data here. And then you have button. This is another stuff on its own. I will not bring you here. This one is more. I don't want to take you guys to some things that are not really useful in your work. The text box will bring this also in. So these are the things that we have. Then narrative as well. Narrative is good. Many times you see UN write reports, you see the visual, and then under the visual you see some narrative, some analysis that have been given under. Most of you see the narrative. When you click on your visual and you click narrative, it gives you that narrative, and then you can enter into it and adjust some things. Okay, and then here we have modeling. So modeling, you can also still put new table. I'll just click on that. You can put new table I'll be showing you. You see the table has already appeared on the data view, and then here I can give the name of the table, but I don't want us to get here now. And then on our view here, you will find what you call filters. We'll be looking at filters as well. We'll be looking at performance analyzer as well. We'll be looking at the mobile layout of Power BI. We'll be looking at the grid. So if I click here, you see that the grid line are on. If I click the snap grid, you see that they are on. If I go my objects, I can create a visual and I lock it here. Nobody can change it. Nobody can touch it. And if I share with you, you can do anything with it. I can do it from here.
Okay.
So that's it. So then here you have different interface. After I create my report, I can just come here and be selecting these options, and it will give me these beautiful interfaces of my report. You see, these are different interfaces here. After I've created my report, I can just come here and start clicking if I want to see this kind of colors and this kind of things in my report. It's very, very important.
Okay.
And then we come to optimize now. Under optimize here, we are not going to be doing much. These are still some things. We can pause our visuals here. This is pause. We can refresh visuals, refreshing simply means maybe you added data and you want to adjust it.
Mhm.
Then here now is help. You can ask for help. Power BI block. You can click here. It takes you to Power BI block. The most often these areas to get there you need to have an official email like I told you. And then you have sample data. You have sample reports. Okay. I can click
Okay.
here now. I'll just click there. Let's see how it reacts. So this is just how the Power BI interface looks like. And then under here, when I click my filters here and I come here, you see that you have the page, information, you have the canvas setting. So if I want to change this canvas, if I want to put something on this canvas, because we are now on the canvas. If I want to change something, if I want to make it bigger, I can make it look like a letter, I can make it look like a tooltip, I can customize it, I can make it have a size. So now it is at the size 16, 16, 10, and 9. And then here again, if I look at the wallpaper, my wallpaper is white. I can change this wallpaper to maybe blue. You see, it has changed my
Yeah.
wallpaper to blue. Okay, maybe I want to make my report to look really beautiful or use some kind of colors. You see, I clean my wallpaper to look like this. So, and then also here you have the filter pane. Filter here simply means if you want to add something in fact this one will be very beautiful when we start working. You would see how it works and what it means. It is very beautiful when we start doing some practical lessons. And that said, I just wanted to take you through some core and some important areas of Power BI that we are going to be using a lot as we move ahead. So do you have any other question?
So now nothing. No question. I think everything is going on well.